5:01. I'm calling this meeting to order. How is everybody? I haven't seen you all in a very long time, so I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. All right, so I'm going to go through attendance. So if you could just unmute and say here when I call your name. Yana?
Here.
Ali?
Here.
I know Thomas can't make it. Nick Polari?
He's at a track meet. He sent me an email.
Oh yeah, there's a big one tonight, I think. Uma?
Here.
Paige McGibbon?
Here.
I know Josh is at the meet as well. Sophie?
Here.
Nivea? I don't see Nivea. Ellie?
Here.
Jenna?
Here.
Nick W is here.
Here.
Tegan?
Here.
Madeline?
Here.
Is here. Charlotte? I don't see Charlotte yet. Paige Arkansas?
Here.
Matt Conley? I don't see Matt. Bella?
Here.
Is here. Juliana?
Here.
Megan?
Here.
And Marie.
Here.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. It's great to see you all. So now it's public comment. Is anybody here from the public wishing to speak? All right, I'm not seeing anybody. All right, so we're going to move on to approval of the minutes. We have 2 meeting minutes to approve. One is from October 26th, and those were written by Madeline, and the others from our last meeting, November 17th. And those were written by Paige McGibbon. So thank you to both of you for doing those. Was everybody able to look them over? I know I sent them kind of late last night. So do we feel good enough to approve them? All right, awesome. All right, so do I have a motion to approve the minutes from our meeting on October 26th, 2021?
I motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to call the roll of the voting members. Yana?
Yes.
Ali?
Yes.
Uma?
Yes.
Paige McGibbon?
Yes.
Sophie?
Yes.
Ellie?
Yes.
Jenna?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Tegan?
Yes.
Madeline?
Yes.
And Charlotte's not here. All right, so that passes the unanimous roll call vote. All right, and do I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th of 2021?
I motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to call the roll. Yana?
Yes.
Ali?
Yes.
Uma?
Yes.
Paige McGibbon?
Yes.
Sophie?
Yes.
Ellie?
Yes.
Jenna?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Tegan?
Yes.
Madeline?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So that also passes with a unanimous roll call vote. All right, and then I forgot to put this on the agenda, but would anybody like to volunteer to take minutes for this meeting? So you can go back and watch the Zoom call that WCAT will post this week and just take the notes. I believe I sent the template to everybody on how to do them. And then once you're done, you'll send them to me so we can approve them at our next meeting. So does anybody like to volunteer to do that?
Yeah, I can volunteer to do those.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So Catherine, I have you, you have a spot to do an activity, but I know that you're driving to Maine. So do you want to skip over that?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can do it really quick.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. So it's a quick raise your hand activity. So I'm just going to read a statement and you can say, and my husband just raised his hand. You can say if it's true for you. Okay. So if everyone puts it on gallery view and you can see everyone's responses, just a really quick icebreaker this cold winter day. All right. So raise your hand if you have a winter birthday. So December, January, or February. All right. Do we have some winter birthdays, Lauren?
Yes, we do. My birthday's in March, so I'm a spring birthday.
Okay.
But we had a good amount.
All right. Okay. Raise your hand if you had cereal for breakfast today.
All right. I see 2 hands.
All right. Raise your hand if you use Snapchat today. All right. What percentage?
Everybody.
Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you've never had a cavity. All right. Raise your hand if you're wearing a red shirt right now. All right.
Right.
Raise your hand if you've ever rode on an elephant or a camel.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that many people.
Really? How many people?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
6.
Wow.
6, yeah.
All right. Raise your hand if you exercise today.
Good amount.
All right. Raise your hand if you would like to become a teacher. Any future teachers out there?
I see 2, and then somebody's a maybe 3.
Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you took a test today.
I did.
All right. And raise your hand if you've met someone famous.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyone have any celebrities that were interested?
I've met Big Papi before from the Red Sox.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anybody else? Have anybody? Nobody? All right.
My son in the backseat reminded me we saw Chris Pratt at an ice cream shop this summer.
Ooh.
I've met Big Poppy a couple times, and then I actually know she plays the mom in Twilight. Her name is Sarah. And so her and her husband, who is in The Walking Dead, go to the same music festival as me and my mom every summer. So like I've met their family before a couple of times. Like I've hung out with their kids. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I've met Big Poppy and then a couple other Red Sox players.
Wow, that's really cool. I know it's always a bucket list of mine. A bucket list item of mine is to meet more celebrities. Yeah, Madeline, go ahead.
Probably less like common for you guys to know, but I've just met like a bunch of authors because books are like kind of my whole life. So like a lot of like authors in the YA world. So
That's great. Books are very valuable, so that's awesome. Anybody else want to share? Y'all, are you raising your hand? I can tell. No, okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I haven't met anyone famous, unfortunately, but hopefully someday.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for doing that, Catherine. All right. So next I have a midterm review. So it's January and our term started in June, I believe. So we're about halfway done, which is great. So thank you all for your hard work. We've made a significant impact on our community. I really want to focus on the community cleanup that we did. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the meeting and how we're going to raise the money that we pledged to raise, which is $1,467.50. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But I know that was very, very significant, a very meaningful thing that we did. and also the Snow Angels. And I think Juliana will talk a little bit more about that. But it seems like we have a few kids signed up to help seniors shovel when it snows. And that's something that I hope will continue. And same with the community cleanup next year and years beyond that. Yana and I may attend a town council meeting sometime in the near future to give a more detailed update to the town council as we fall under their jurisdiction. So we'll just talk about what our council, what we've been doing. We'll talk about these 2 initiatives that we did and then some goals that we have to finish out our term. So we're waiting to hear back from the chair, Councillor Smith Galvin. I know the town council, Mr. Chines, I'm sure you can speak to this, is very busy right now with some projects and COVID stuff happening. But I'll keep you all updated on that. So yeah, that's my review. Does anybody have any other thoughts or questions, comments? Awesome. All right, let's see what's next. So I really want to find a regular meeting date. I think this worked okay for the first half, but I think now that we're kind of getting in a groove and getting more comfortable with our roles on this council, it might be a good idea to meet more regularly, and then it's easier so people can plan things around it. So I had a few ideas. So town council meets the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month. And so I was thinking, since there wouldn't be a conflict, we could meet the 1st and 3rd Mondays of every month. And school committee meets the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of every month. So we could also meet the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays every month. So that could be like kind of an opposite schedule, so there wouldn't be any conflicts. And Thursdays are also an option for me. So does anybody have any preferences as to what days? And the meetings would likely be around 7 p.m. It seems like later in the evening works for us typically. So does anybody have a preference as to Mondays, Tuesdays, or Thursdays? All right.
I would prefer not Mondays, just with my schedule and school stuff. But yeah, I could work around it, but it would just be really hard. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to know. And I see other people nodding too. All right, so Tuesdays or Thursdays, that sounds good to people. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Tegan.
Thursdays are like the busiest day for me. I just have like a lot of stuff. So if it works for everyone else, obviously it's not worth like just because of me. But yeah, if possible, I guess, just because it's like there's a lot on Thursdays for me.
Yeah, I totally get that. All right, so maybe the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays every month. So that would be twice a month. It's definitely, a commitment. But I think that's how we'll reach our fullest potential, is to meet more regularly. And we'll start to set like really attainable goals for things that we want to achieve. So does that sound good if we meet the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of every month? Yes. All right. So that means that our next meeting will be, let's see, on February, let me see. That seems too soon.
When is it, Lauren?
So if we met the 1st Tuesday, it would be the 1st. So we could do that. Does February?
I think we need to get into a routine. So
yeah. So February 1st. And does 7 p.m. work for people? All right, awesome. So our next meeting will be February 1st at 7 p.m. I'll get the agenda out. So then for the minutes, I'll probably need them sometime later on next week. But we can always push that back as well. Does that work for everybody? All right, awesome. So we'll plan on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of every month. But if you have to miss one meeting, no worries at all. Jenna, go ahead.
I have like a very busy schedule right now, so like no day or no day is gonna be perfect. But I don't think Tuesdays have much for me. But if it works for everyone else, then like, don't change.
Gotcha. Yeah, just make it to what you can. And I'll try to be good about sending out some updates so everybody can stay in the loop. And that's where the meeting minutes and the YouTube videos really come in handy so you can stay caught up. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions or comments about that? All right, cool. All right, so Juliana, I was hoping you could give us an update about the Wakefield Snow Angels program. So the floor is yours.
Definitely. So we have, which I think is pretty good. We have some people, we have one person in kind of like the Dolbear area, and then we have some people in the Walton area, and I'm not quite sure where Morrison Road is, but we have a person out there. And everyone is around 15 or 16, so I think so far.
Awesome, thank you. So I posted a few things on social media about this. So I think that's how we're getting the majority of the outreach done. And I also know that there was a little blurb in the Wakefield Daily Item about this, which is awesome. So that can reach all of the target audience, youth and seniors. So that's great. So Juliana, thank you so much for working on this. Mr. Trines, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to suggest another place you may want to think about either posting someone or posting something or letting them know is the Wakefield Patch. They've been getting a good amount of traffic, particularly for folks that don't read the items. That might be another place to spread the word.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
happy to put you in touch with the reporter there if that's helpful.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind sending that information to us, that would be great.
Great.
And then Ali, maybe you could work on with the communications and outreach subcommittee, kind of being the middle person there.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. All right. So does anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to give an update. So Juliana, thank you so much for your work with that. And it's worked out that we've had about the same amount of seniors wanting their walkway shoveled as we have youth volunteers. And geographically, it's working out too. So great job. And the matching emails will go out this weekend.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a great initiative that we can work to kind of unify the youth and the adults in the town. So it's great. And I really do hope this continues. Maybe next fall, the council can find something like this to do with like leaf raking or something like that, and try to continue this initiative. All right. Awesome. Any other thoughts or questions on the Snow Angels? Questions that Juliana might be able to answer or I can answer? All right, so definitely if you want to sign up, the link has been posted on our social media pages, and I can send it out in an email. If you want to tell your friends to sign up, that would be awesome. The more the merrier. So cool. All right. So next, Ali, I'm going to turn it over to you for a communications and outreach subcommittee update.
Thank you. So the communications and outreach subcommittee. So we're trying to get into a regular meeting time as well. And so some of the stuff that we've been working on are we're especially focusing on our social media pages, trying to continuously show up in people's feeds, like posting 3 times a week. Hopefully we'll be doing that moving forward. And I don't have many other updates. And like as Lauren said before, there was a blurb that went into the newspaper about the Snow Angels, and that was also done by the Communications Outreach Subcommittee. So, and I just wanted to say one more thing. And if anyone is still interested in joining the Communications and Outreach Subcommittee, you can email me and we'll be sure to add you to the subcommittee.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'm really hoping, and Ali, I'll connect with you on this, or at an upcoming meeting, we can talk more about this, but definitely an increased social media presence. And I would like to emphasize the participation with that. That committee, it's absolutely vital to our presence within the town. So it would be awesome if more people could join that. And with the regular meeting times, I'm hoping, since we're meeting almost every other week, the communications and outreach subcommittee can meet on those off weeks, or even once a month, just to get it, as Ali said, a more regular schedule with that. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions? All right. So for some liaison updates, I know that Paige is going to give us a presentation for her position. So then after that, if anybody has any updates, we can kind of talk about those. I would love to have at least 2 people per meeting, 1 to 2 people per meeting, just to give us like a really quick presentation on their liaison positions, because that is a really big part of what we're doing as the youth council, is trying to provide youth voices and youth perspectives into town groups that wouldn't always have them. And so if you're ever interested, or if you ever attend a meeting, please let me know and I can put you on the agenda. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Paige. So Paige, take it away.
Hey, so, oh, I'll share my screen. Okay, hold on. Oh, never mind. Should I share my screen?
You can. Do I have to enable it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure. Let me see. Hang on. I haven't done this yet this year. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Or Paige, do you want to share it to my email and then I can share it?
Lauren, if you just look at share screen
Mhm.
and then click on that and then allow more than one participant to share. Do you see that?
Oh, gotcha.
On the bottom of the green button.
Yeah.
And then click on that and say allow more than, and then be able to do it.
Gotcha. All right, Paige, it should be all set. Thank you, Catherine.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, so my liaison position is for the Master Plan 2032 Advisory Group, and it's a new up-and-coming group, and our first meeting was January 5th. So at first we started off with like introductions and background information, and the meeting was run by Carlos Montañez, and is the principal planner of the MAPC, which is the Metropolitan Area Planning Council, and Christian Brandt, who's the community engagement manager. And we began with just like an overview of like the goals of the group, which I'll get into, and then just like introductions. And a lot of members of the group had like backgrounds in social work and community work, like such as like architects and engineers, and had a great passion for helping the Wakefield community. Topics that the Master Plan 2032 group is going to focus on that we discussed is land use and zoning, housing, transportation and circulation, open space and recreation, historic and cultural resources, public facilities, town services and infrastructure, sustainability and climate and economic development. And we just went over like the general ideas that we have for each topic. And then my last slide is the vision statement that we have for the group. I can read some of it, it's kind of long, but the first one is like just envisioning like the future of Wakefield for like the next 10 years, including like enhancing the beautiful natural landscape, neighbor character and signature open spaces, welcoming and supporting residents from different backgrounds and life stages, enhancing the neighborhoods and housing options for all, safe walking and biking and amenities, improving business districts with more services, expanding social, civic, and cultural landscape, invest in local civic projects for present day residents, and reducing car dependency. So yeah. Yeah. Let me figure out how to get back onto the Zoom meeting.
No worries, I'll start talking. Thank you, Paige. That was awesome. I've always been really curious as to what this group has been doing, especially seeing the vision statement. It's really awesome to see how they want to roll with Wakefield's evolution in a natural but controlled way at the same time. Does anybody have any questions for Paige or any comments? Awesome. Anybody? Cool. All right. Thank you, Paige, for doing that. So I'd love for more people to be able to do just, it can be really short presentation if you attend a meeting. So yeah, to do at our meetings. Does anybody have any other liaison updates that they'd like to give? Yeah, so go ahead.
Me? I can go.
Sophie, yeah, Sophie, sorry. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, sorry, your
Okay.
audio skipped out, so I didn't hear. So I'm the liaison to the Economic and Community Development Committee, and back in like mid-December, I met with Erin, who's the liaison to the Youth Council, and I just kind of talked to her about, you know, her goals for like working with the Youth Council, and you know, she wanted to connect with the youth, and she wanted to know what we would like to see in the town now and in the future, and you know, what we think of the stores. And she did notice that like there aren't many high school kids downtown, so I talked to her a little bit about what like me and my friends would want to see, like stores and stuff, and what I've heard other kids talk about wanting to see. And then I asked about some of her projects, like, or the projects that the committee has been working on. And they are part of the master plan that Paige was talking about. And they're also working on like better crossings and bike lanes, and you know, anything related to bikes, and oh yeah, and trying to recruit like new and larger businesses. And then I also asked like how the youth council can help, and she just said to, you know, get involved in sessions and attend public meetings, and you know, reach out to town departments. And she thinks that, you know, youth voices are very important, and she wants them to like reach out as much as possible. So
Awesome, thank you, Sophie. So it sounds like she really wants to connect with the youth. So if you'd like, you can totally invite her to come to our next meeting on February 1st. Let me know if she can. I can put a spot on the agenda so then we can have a larger group discussion. She can talk about just more in depth about what the work that she's doing. And then we can have a group conversation about how we can help and how we can promote her goals and help her achieve them. Does that sound good?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll email her about that after this meeting.
Cool. Awesome, thanks. Yana, did you have a liaison update?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. So I've been working with the committee member Lindsay Averbook, I think. Averbook, yeah. And we're working on a mental health project, and
Did she freeze for anybody else, or is that just me? Okay, she froze. All right, we can wait a minute. Nope. All right, we'll give Yana a minute. Does anybody else have any?
of different supports. Health.
She's back. Hi,
Oh,
Yana. You froze for a little bit. If you want to start over.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I've been working with the committee member Lindsay Averbook, and so we've been working on projects for mental health, and she's been trying to get more youth aware of all the supports and help there is in the town of mental health. And she was reaching out to me wondering if there's any like ideas or suggestions that like the best way to go about that. And I said I offer like social media, but it's kind of hard because the HRC does not have an Instagram due to certain circumstances. But I was wondering like maybe we could post some stuff, but also like if you guys have any ideas, like please feel free to share or like email me, which would be very helpful. But I just wanted to bring that up real quick. I know we worked on mental health together like as a youth council in the past, so I don't know, I brought some ideas like what we did previously.
Yeah.
But
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, I would definitely suggest. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Okay. I would definitely suggest reaching out with the youth action team because they're doing a number of mental health initiatives inside the Galvin and the high school. So maybe she can connect with them as well.
yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you. I'll let her know.
Awesome. Yana, if you want to invite her to the following meeting after our February 1st one, feel free and I can give her a spot on the agenda
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm planning on FaceTiming her in the next week and talk about like ideas that we can do. So I'll bring that up too in the
Perfect.
thing. Thank you guys.
Cool. All right. Does anybody else have any updates or questions? Marie, go ahead.
So I'm kind of new, but I'm not a liaison for anything yet. So is there anything I should do?
Catherine, I think I'll direct that question to you.
Yes, Marie, actually, we need a liaison for the Veterans Advisory Committee because of this work that we're doing with the cleanup. So David, who works with the veterans, was really excited if we had a liaison. So would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure.
Great, because that we're about to move into talking about that. So you could definitely be really busy in the next couple of weeks and months helping us complete our cleanup project.
Okay, that sounds good.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. I meant to email you and make sure that you were connected with somebody, but I'm glad we got that figured out. Awesome. Any other updates? Anybody? Mr. Chines, go ahead.
Not an update, but I just wanted to say thank you, for all of the updates that you guys have shared and the liaison work that you're doing. It really is so incredible to have your voices in a lot of these forums, whether it's the master plan work or the Human Rights Commission and everything else that's going on. So I just, wanted to say thank you and just to encourage you to please continue to be active in these roles and please continue to, participate in these committees and reach out to folks at Town Hall. Don't ever feel that you're bothering any one of us. I think we really want to hear from you. We want to hear your feedback and we definitely want to hear your ideas.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's so important for adults to have youth perspective, especially where times have changed. So it's really important. It's vital for growth. So awesome. Anybody else? Yeah, Madeline, go ahead.
So not an update. I just know that Jackie from the library committee had said like if there was anything that they can get involved in, then they would love to. So yeah, just like kind of putting that out there that she still wants to help with stuff. So
yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind. And maybe I know we have a few things lined up for our next meetings, but maybe a future one she could come and talk about what they're doing at the library and things that we can help promote or help out with. All right. Anything else before we move on? All right. So next up on the agenda, I had a COVID update and I put Catherine for that. But Catherine, if you're unable to do this, since you're in the car, I'm happy to do it.
No, I can give an update. We had the COVID call this morning, where the health director gets on with the Board of Health members and the town administrator and the superintendent, and just kind of giving everyone the heads up that, you know, Omicron really started hitting us hard in mid-December, and it's starting to subside. It's hopeful that more and more age groups have been able to get vaccinated, and the 12 to 15s just opened up boosters. So we're actually going to try to have a school-based booster clinic at some point in the next month or so. Yeah, just to keep wearing, the idea is wearing better masks, because we know Omicron is much more transmissible, and just keep safe. And but yeah, you can always go to the COVID page on the Wakefield main page to get the most up-to-date stats, but those don't really, because of Omicron surge, it was hard for people to get PCR, so we're not really capturing all the home tests right now. So the numbers you see out there aren't as true as far as statewide numbers and townwide numbers, but the school numbers are a little more accurate because those are reported to the school. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Catherine. So I'll share my screen. Oh my gosh, share my screen quickly, just so you all can see what the Board of Health does. So on the town website, there's a little section of COVID-19 info. They update this every Friday. The town administrator and the Board of Health hold Zoom calls at 9 a.m. So we wouldn't be able to attend that since we're at school. But you can watch them. There's a hyperlink that links you to them, the previous ones. So here you can see a chart. There's a pie chart. And then what I really like is that it gives data specific to our school district. So as you can see, there were 619 cases within January. As Catherine said, that might not be the most accurate number because of at-home tests. And you can also see the staff cases throughout the district. And what I also really like is that you can see the surrounding town data. So you can kind of know where Wakefield stands with this. And the Board of Health also implemented a mask mandate. So all masks are required inside all Wakefield businesses and buildings until I believe it's March. Let me see. I know it ends in March. Mr. Chines, do you know when that ends, or Catherine?
I don't know if they set an end date. I do know that they have it on their agenda to review it in March, but I don't know if it officially ends. But they'll be making a decision at that point based on, what hopefully will be much lower positivity numbers than we've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And I know these numbers are starting to subside, but that also means we still have to be really careful to make sure that they don't spike again. Thank you. So the Board of Health will reevaluate that sometime in March. So we'll see then where we go from there. I know that there is a vaccine clinic coming up, so I'm planning to promote that on our social media, and maybe I'll connect with you to promote that as well. Does anybody have any questions about COVID update? Anything related to that? All right, let me see what's next. So we don't have any other agenda items, but I do want to briefly touch base on, and I mentioned this before, but the fundraising for the Veterans Day cleanup. So we pledged to, with how much trash we picked up, raise $1,467.50. So Catherine has connected with somebody on I believe the Veterans Advisory Board, and Marie, you will be the liaison to these people that we've connected with. And we set a goal to reach this amount by March 29th, which is the National Vietnam Veterans Memorial Day. And the reason why we picked that date was because we are raising this money to send Wakefield veterans to the memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Roll on Washington, I believe. So Catherine, I might have you take it from here, and we can just start to brainstorm some ideas on fundraising and how exactly we're going to do this.
Yeah, so it's nice that we have our goal, and I think it's definitely an attainable goal. And yeah, we just want to figure out what's our fundraising strategy. I think because it's 1,400, I think we can just have one fundraising strategy. So, you know, whether it's selling something, whether it's an event. I mean, we do have to think it's the winter time, or even just a GoFundMe. You know, I'd love to hear everyone's ideas on what you're thinking might be a good fundraiser.
Does anybody have any ideas? I know I personally was thinking about a GoFundMe. Yeah, Jenna, go ahead.
So I'm doing a fundraiser at the dance studio for an organization that I help with, and we're doing a penny drive. And last year when we did it, it was very successful. And it's like we're doing a competition between all of the dance teams, and whichever one raises the most amount of money wins like a small prize.
Awesome. I really like that idea. Does anybody have any others? Anybody? All right. I was also thinking a GoFundMe could be a good idea, because I think that's something that's accessible to a lot of people. It's something we could easily promote, and especially I know we had talked about maybe doing something similar to this in the spring, and hopefully for that we can have like some kind of in-person fundraiser or something like that. But I think where it's winter and COVID cases are pretty high, it's better to do something that is virtual. And we could also have an option where people could drop off money maybe at town hall if they're unable to donate to a GoFundMe. Does anybody have any objections? Yeah, Catherine, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I kind of liked where Jenna was going, because I think I feel like if we did a GoFundMe, it would be adults funding it. And I think this should be something that youth in Wakefield are funding. So, you know, if we did some sort of like coin drive at the schools or something like that, and we know COVID's not, you know, transmissible through touching, but you know, I think, you know, that whole idea of everything being virtual, we can kind of be open to collecting coins and dollars or something like that. Because I know the Galvin used to do something where every homeroom had a certain amount that they were challenged to raise. So anyway, that's just a thought. I'm thinking it's a youth initiative, and we should be fundraising. You know, the fundraising should be Wakefield Youth. So I don't know what others think, but that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I really like that idea. Does anybody have any other thoughts on that type of drive? Like if we did something with schools. I know Megan, you're the liaison to the Galvin PTO, I believe. Is that right? Okay.
It's Galvin High School.
Galvin and high school, gotcha. So we can also hopefully connect with the elementary school PTOs maybe, and that can be our way of connecting with the schools to do this fundraiser. So Megan, I can get in touch with you about that, and then we can figure out a way to connect with the elementary schools. Does that sound good to everybody if we do something within the schools? And Catherine, I think you're right in your thinking of this being fundraised by Wakefield Youth. All right. Yeah, Ellie, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
I
don't
keep
know.
doing that. My bad. I should
Okay.
You can go. Don't worry. You can go.
No, Ellie, you go ahead. It's all good.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. So I know that we want to start with this drive right away, but is there any way we could do something on the lines of maybe something for Valentine's Day in February, a different drive, or have it like part of it? I'm not really sure. But at my school, this is just totally an idea. We did these like kindness cards. You can like buy a card and you send it to your friend. And it was like this whole thing. And it was when we raised a bunch of money. It was for Student Activities Council at my school. And it was really fun. And it got the kids, the students, to be able to say like personal messages to their friends, because it could be something funny, goofy, but then you're raising money for a good cause. So that's just an idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And since this was for Veterans Day, maybe we could even do something, you could donate some money and then get some paper and markers to make a card for a veteran, and then we could donate those cards to the Wakefield veterans. So I really like that idea. Thank you. Yana, did you have something to add?
Yeah, Ellie, I really like your idea. I think that's a great, and what Lauren added on is doing the cards. I think that would be actually perfect and more fitting. I was gonna say like raffling, like raffle tickets and like raffle baskets. Like I remember, I think it was like breakfast with Santa at Dolbear, and they would have all these raffle buckets. And I used to, as a kid, I would get so excited to like I like think that that's a huge way that Dolbear got a lot of their money and like funded a lot of things. And it also got the kids involved, but I really like the idea of doing the cards for the veterans. Actually, that's a good thinking.
Thank you. Jenna, go ahead.
I was gonna say Galvin did for winter break something similar, but it was like candy cans, and I think from what I heard, this council ran it, but from what I heard, it was very successful.
Thank you. So you did break up a little bit. I think it was something about a candy cane drive. I think that's what I got from it. And I know that the high school did one, and that was very successful. It was for the senior class. So yeah, maybe something like that that's like tangible, that we could incorporate into that. Awesome. Catherine, were you gonna say something?
No, yeah, I was saying, because I like a lot of these ideas. Maybe we can create create an action team meeting to flush out the plan, because I do think if Ellie has this, how the card, it sounds like her school already did this card thing, so she might be able to present to us how this worked. And then we could figure out, because Valentine's Day is coming up soon, so maybe even setting up a meeting at the end of next week to figure out how to come up with this and make it happen. Would that be something you'd be willing to do, Ellie?
Yeah, of course. I wasn't like, of course, I'm not in Student Activities Council, but I feel like I know enough information that any questions you have, I would gladly try my best to ask and help any way that I can.
That'd be great. Even if you could just get the information and have a flyer on how it worked and everything, and then we could make adaptations to it. Or if it's not cards, something else around Valentine's Day that we end up selling, kind of like Jenna said, that the candy canes or something like that. So you could even sell those little candy hearts and have messages to friends or something. I don't know, but I like the cards.
Yeah, I love all of these ideas. So I can, Ellie, maybe I'll email you and Jenna, and then we can set up a meeting time, and I'll send that out to the whole council. And anybody that wants to come and take lead on this, totally feel free. Jenna, go ahead.
I'm gonna try again. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm gonna try with my video. Hopefully that helps. I was just saying that Galvin did Red Roar Wonder Race, the same thing with cards, except it was candy cane pens, and I'm not on student council, but from what I heard, it was very successful. You like paid $1 and then got to send like a candy cane pen to a classmate or friend.
Great. So you did break up a little bit again at the end, but I think we got what you were saying. So it sounds like that has been successful across a lot of different schools. So I think that might be our best way to go about fundraising for this. All right. Anybody else have any other thoughts? All right. So I will email both of you and we'll set up a meeting time that the three of us can attend, and then I'll send that out to the rest of the council, hopefully by the end of next week, if not at the very latest, the beginning of the following week. Awesome. All right. Does anybody else have anything before we adjourn the meeting? Sorry, my dog is going crazy in the background. All right. Anything else? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
A motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I
I
second.
second.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm going to call the roll. Yana,
Yes.
Ali,
Yes.
Uma,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
Sophie,
Yes.
Ellie,
Yes.
Jenna,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Tegan,
Yes.
and Madeline.
Yes.
All right, so our meeting is adjourned with a unanimous roll call vote. Thank you all so much for coming.